What's going on, everybody? My name is Pinky, aka that one person that's obsessed with Warhammer 40k. Seriously, it's to the point that my partner looked at me and was like, "Stop, you have enough." Today it's gonna be a different video, as I said from the beginning. If you read the title. Today I'm gonna be showing off some Warhammer 40k stuff, which is a little different from my usual HRT talks, but I wanted to try something different. I hope you like the difference, and with that, let's roll on to IRL Pinky. It's IRL Pinky here. Look at my hands, little hands together, and let's get started with the figures. Alright, first we have the first ever few figures that I painted, which was the Tyranid. I got him and a few other Space Marines in a box set to start off. As you can see, the paint is crude. Probably used too much or not enough contrast. I didn't even paint the base. Oh, those for later, you don't get to see those. But then we move on. 12 Tyranids later, I painted the Space Marines, which is this guy right here. As you can see, a little upgrade from this. This guy looks a lot better, and as you can see, they're both stick-togethers, which was some of the first models I did, and I come to realize later that the others are glue-ons. But back to this guy, as you can see, the paint job isn't all that good, not that much details. I had limited paints as well because I just did the paints that were in the box. But my first few models that I did was the Plague Marines, and this guy right here called Norid the Putrid, who is named after one of my friends, but also you can see where I redid the base. Originally I painted it green, but then I got tactical mud and did that. You can already see a big difference from the models before. I didn't mean to knock it over. But you could see I'm starting to get better. But the first model I was really proud of, the one that I like the most, has to be this one right here. This is when I learned about the contrast paints, the layering. As you can see, I didn't realize different paints had different words to them. I didn't know how to read. But after figuring out what each paint did, this guy turned out really well. You could see some, stuff that I could improve on later, but this one was definitely one of my first favorites. It definitely goes to the Hall of Fame with how much detail I put into it. I nicknamed it Baxter Flyman. Okay, now the next thing on the list. This one right here has to be the prototype of the learning experience, as I like to call it, because this figure right here, I learned so much about how to paint while painting him. And as you can see, he's kind of in the middle, not too good, but also not too bad. Compared to this one, this is when I finally started to learn about how each paints work. This one had base that I put on first, I didn't realize that. And layer, which is what I accidentally did for somebody else. And then how to apply on shade, then fix it over with some layering again. The Stormlord, as the model is called, definitely taught me a lot about painting. He was also difficult to put together, and some mistakes that I did that I will never forget. I put the arms on backwards, and you see this thing right here is a bit off. I also had to work with plastic glue around this time, and the plastic glue melted. This isn't the first time that the plastic glue melted the incorrect way, making figures deformed, but that's for later. After that, I get to learn how to paint Mo and Mo models. After I was done with the Plague Marines, I switched over to the Poxwalkers. And around this time, you could definitely see that I've learned how to do the basics of painting. Still a bit messy, but the thing about Poxwalkers is you can be messy and get away with it. As you could see from the Tyranid and the Poxwalker, they are really different. I love painting the Poxwalkers and giving it details. I feel like this was my first time being able to experiment with stuff. And that's when I realized I liked painting gross things. As you can see from every Poxwalker I did, I just made it more and more gross. This one I call Brain from the Gremlins, because it kind of reminds me of that. Definitely a nasty dude. Moving along, I also did Mo Necrons for my partner because they like the Necrons. This is Immortal. And these guys were a pain to put together, so many pieces. And it cost me to have a few fail attempts of the Necrons. Like this guy right here, you can see that I chipped off this. And this guy right here, you can see where the plastic glue, as I said earlier, melted. So he's always looking down. For tips starting off, do not pick Necrons unless you actually know what you're doing, because these guys are hard to put together. And oh boy, I'm not ready to do the flame ones, like ever. But back to the Necrons. Around this time, I started to be like, am I doing good with painting? But you can see where I have a few flops as well. That's the other thing that I brought up. You could see that I suck with faces. And these models kind of like flopped because I didn't know how to paint the eyes and everything. And it took me getting this brush to actually make it somewhat good. This brush. And this guy, I feel like came out well because of the brush. What also makes it hard is people that don't know, I have trimmers in my hands. And this is as still as I can make my hands. So, take that as an inspiration. If little wobbly hands like me can paint stuff like this, I feel like anybody can. But I've learned from my art teacher in the past to use your arms, not your hands. So it's all in the arms and shoulders instead of the wrist for painting. So I guess that's how I can get away with a steady arm, because my arm doesn't shake but my hand does. Next, the Nurglings. In the Nurglings, definitely I was creative with. I took 3 different base paints and did a lot of different shades and details. You can see, like, I tried my best to give the Nurglings all different personalities and stuff. I'm really proud of this one right here. And I come to realize I like painting gross things. Try to get stuff more grimier or dirtier. This is a Space Wolf battle leader. I'm proud of the cape. The story about how I got these were I started Death Guard, then my partner... I talked about Space Wolves maybe once or twice, and my partner saw these and got them. And I'm like, great, now I have to buy more paint. I'm glad he supports my fascination though, but these are my more recent ones that I did. As of recording, these are some people I like to call the Death Guard. No, not the Death Guard. Oh my god, I forgot the name of them while recording. Death Watch. Death Watch. A lot of death. But you could see I painted one of my original Ultramarines to be part of Death Watch. You could see how I've improved over time. Now lastly, man, I have a lot of models. I decided to end the year off by taking one of my original Tyranids and painting it how I would have painted it today. I added more paints, the shading, colors. I even did the gun, and I also did the plates as mud. But you could tell it's original because of how messy the base plate is. But these guys are definitely... I decided to start off the year with them, and I ended off the year with them. And here's all my models put together. I have them all in a case that I would show like near the end of the video, but this was my models for 2025. And I also planned, and this is my workshop, I still plan to paint more models. In fact, I'm putting a few together right now. Let me go get them. This is the other Nurglings that I have them primed. I just need to paint them. Probably gonna paint them later this week. And I got a few Necrons, warriors that I'm planning to do, putting them together. And I bought myself some Plague Bearers. So I have a few models to go paint. But I hope you enjoy the video, and this is me raving IRL. Bye! Thank you. And we're back. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you like it, give it a like. Comment what was your favorite model that I did. And I'll see you all in the next video. Pink out.